Let's get some people on here tonight, people. There's a lot taking place with our Second Amendment. 21 states are at risk to what is happening in Michigan. What up, Wigmaster? No, ain't tired. Too much shit going on. Did you hear they're targeting 6-year-old kids now? We already got a message in review. I don't know why I hit your comment for, but it did. There. I agree. I agree. Oh, let's get this thing growing, people. There, we got a few more on here. But if you live in one of these 21 states I'm about to mention, you should be concerned with your Second Amendment being taken from you without due process. Oklahoma, I don't believe is one of the states. No, I do not believe. I'll have to go through my notes real quick. But anyways, I'm sure some of you are aware, and those of you who aren't, here in Michigan, we have a thing called the Extreme Risk Protection Order. And they are using it on children as young as 6 here in the state of Michigan, and they are removing firearms from the parents. Now, how can you remove firearms without due process from parents because of what their children are saying? Now that is a total infringement. I mean, what if your kid never even said anything and it's all made up bullshit, but yet you lose your Second Amendment because of hearsay? That's what these extreme risk protection orders are. There's 21 states. Let's see if any of you guys fall into this category. Anybody on here from Colorado? How about Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington, D.C. These are the states that have extreme risk protection orders, also known as red flag laws. Now, we also have what is called a firearm Act in New Mexico, which basically is a red flag law in New Mexico as well. There's 21 states. They're just naming it a little bit different. Extreme substitutable risk order is what Virginia has. Firearm reservation order is in Illinois and Indiana. Gun violent protection order is in California and Hawaii. Lethal weapon protection order is in Delaware. Risk protection order is in Florida and Connecticut. Access to restricted firearms is in Maine. So if you live in any of them states I just named off, at the blink of an eye, you could have your Second Amendment stripped from you without due process, without ever getting to face your accuser. Now, how does that all sit well with you? What kid do you guys know that doesn't talk a little smack, to try to be cool, to try to be a big shot? I mean, we're talking about kids here. Instead of going to the parents and asking them about the shit that their kids supposedly said, they just go in there and take everything away. And it's up to the courts to deem you fit or unfit, I guess. I don't know exactly how all this shit works because to me it's straight up an infringement of our First, Second, and Fourth Amendment. Period. But here in Michigan, there's been 3 cases where kids 6, 8, and I believe 10 years old were targeted for making threats. And the parents was not notified. They were just notified when the police came in and stripped them of their Second Amendment rights. Now, apparently, this has also happened to some Detroit police officers here in Michigan. Uh, which what makes the police officer any different from the rest of us? It doesn't. So they should be held just as accountable as the rest of us. So I don't know why Heavy Duty Country or whatever his name is here on YouTube was making that such a big deal. Like, oh, the police are great. They should be exempt from these red flag laws. Bullshit. I think these red flag laws, period, are bullshit. But if they're implemented, then everybody should be held accountable to them. So apparently there was 4 police officers in Detroit, Michigan, who had these red flag laws implemented on them for domestic violence accusations. None of these people have been found guilty of any crime. There was never a crime committed. But here we are today. I tried to warn everybody years ago, before these red flag laws were even a thing, that if these red flag laws got passed here in Michigan, this is exactly what we'd be seeing. It weaponized and used politically, which it has done that as well. But now it's targeting children as young as 6 to take away parents' Second Amendment right. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but that sounds like total garbage, total nonsense. If you're an American citizen, you have certain rights, or you should have. There's a misperspective on how our rights are viewed. Our rights isn't viewed as rights anymore. They're viewed as privileges. And that's part of the problem. Because our rights are not privileges, people. Our rights are ours from birth. And the more we relinquish, the more we tolerate, the more they take, the more we lose, the further down the shit show we go. But these red flag laws or extreme risk protection orders, it's garbage. It's garbage. What happened to being able to face your accuser? What do these people who make these false claims against people, are they held accountable for making false police reports if these people are found to be innocent? Okay, let's take for an example these Detroit police officers. If these police officers are found not guilty of the crime that they are accused of, is everything good? Do they get everything back? How does that all work? Or what about the parents of these kids? Do they get their rights back? Do they get their kids taken away? What happens? I read a comment earlier about raising your kids right. You know what? You can raise your kids to be the best kids out there. But in the real world, they're going to talk a certain way because of peer pressure. They're going to talk a certain way to try to make friends. They're children. They don't fully comprehend anything. Most fucking adults don't comprehend anything, let alone 6 and 8-year-olds. So these red flag laws, people, are just a complete infringement, a complete and total another tool for them to disarm the American people. What Second Amendment right have we gotten back since we've lost anything? None. Zero. But if you live in these 21 states, you might want to look into it because you're at risk. Your family's at risk. Your kid, especially if you have young kids, you're gonna have to sit them down and like have a heart to heart, like a true heart talk or something with them. Now, I've always taught my kids to respect firearms. You know, that's not a hard thing to do. And I'm sure 99% of you out there do the same if you have kids. You're not just going to leave your weapon sit around for your kid to have access to it. See, that's what they're claiming. They're claiming that this 6-year-old had access to his parents' firearms. Now, unless you're a complete moron and you're leaving your firearms loaded, laying around, a 6-year-old is not gonna. It's not gonna know how to load it. It's not gonna know how. It's not gonna be strong enough to probably chamber it. Now, come on, you got to be realistic here. Be realistic. I see there's a bunch of stupid ass trolls on here tonight. Why don't you guys just go bother somebody else? Let us adults talk. Man. But yeah, this is happening in Michigan, and it's probably happened elsewhere, but Michigan is always making the news for some reason. Like I said, I tried warning people about this years ago when we were holding rally after rally after rally to try to protect and defend our Second Amendment here in Michigan. Why everybody else just sits back. But you know what? I bet those people who have had this shit happen to them think a little bit differently now. I bet they wish they would have stood up and stood with people who were fighting against these red flag laws in the first place. Because there was a bunch of us trying to stop this. We had representatives in our corner who were fighting these. But there just wasn't enough people who gave a shit. And you know what? Now they're probably wishing they'd done a little more, maybe to prevent these red flag laws from becoming law. See, nobody thinks it's ever going to affect them. So therefore, why worry about it? That's the mentality of people nowadays. If it doesn't directly affect me today, why fucking worry about it? Because you know what? Someday it probably will affect you. That's why you should care. You should care because now you have to tell your kids, man, like, man, you can't talk cool, you can't talk tough, you can't do anything. Or you're gonna, get in trouble and you're gonna get us all in trouble. Now kids are gonna be kids. Now if these were adults making these threats, then yeah, whatever. But when we're talking about 6-year-old kids, 8-year-old kids, go talk to the parents. Go find out what's going on instead of just stripping them their Second Amendment away from them without due process, without being able to face their accuser. Now that is bullshit. That's like anybody can make these bullshit claims about anybody and have their Second Amendment stripped from them. It's that easy. I mean, there's 21 states right now that have some form of these red flag laws, just worded differently. Yeah, keep making a joke there, whatever. Yeah, everything's funny. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. You know what? I'm done. I'm not even going to fucking deal with your stupid bullshit. I'm done dealing with assholes. I'm done dealing with these clowns on here who just want to talk stupid shit. Man, that just shows you that people are so ignorant when they just want to get on here and post stupid ass comments that have nothing to do with what I'm trying to talk about, and it distracts me. I cannot deal with ignorance and ignorant people are going to be the demise of humanity. That movie Idiocracy or whatever it's called, man, that we're seeing that played out right in front of our eyes, people. You don't see animals letting the dumbest lead the bunch. You don't see wolves letting the dumbest, the weakest lead the pack. But for some reason, fucking human beings, man, we let the dumbest, most corrupt just run us. And we're fine with it. I laugh because it's all comical anymore, people. Because none of these laws are ever going to change a criminal's mind or change a criminal's heart or do anything to stop a criminal. You could ban every weapon in the United States of America and there'd still be murder. It's not a gun problem, it's a people problem. It's a mental problem. It's a society problem. It's not a gun problem. More people are killed with hammers in the United States with blunt force than they are with a firearm. But they want to push the news, the narrative that, oh, guns are evil, guns kill people. No. Evil in people's heart is what kills people. It has nothing to do with the gun. Nothing. But these red flag laws, people, that are implemented in 21 states could affect you at one day. You know, if you have a young kid and maybe they go to school and maybe they're being bullied. Maybe they're getting beat up on. You know, and the school is doing nothing about it because I know for a fact that has happened. Know for a fact that the school systems don't do shit about bullies, especially if they're the rich, popular kids in school. Because it happened to one of my kids, one of my sons who was being bullied. And I don't know how many times I had to go to the school and bitch and raise my concerns with it. Told my son, next time they bully you, punch that motherfucker right in the mouth. That's what I told him. Because the school systems don't give a shit. They're there to get paid and indoctrinate your children. But kids can't even be kids anymore. I mean, seriously, people, to go after a 6-year-old and thinking that his threats are credible, that he truly has access to his parents' firearms, that he even knows how to use a firearm in the first place, that's ridiculous. But like I said, if the parents leave their shit laying around and have it accessible to young kids, then yeah, they do deserve to be held accountable for something. Because us responsible gun owners do have a responsibility. You'll never hear me say that we don't have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to teach our kids to treat guns as with respect, not as toys. But yeah, we're more concerned with just taking away people's Second Amendment, because that's what this is about. That's exactly what this is about. Stripping people of their Second Amendment right. Or making them afraid to speak up. Making them afraid to voice their grievances. I mean, hell, I have a whole slew of opinions on that matter. But I wonder if this is making news here in Michigan because of the Detroit Free Press broke a story. I wonder if this has happened in any of these other states that I've mentioned. I wonder if it's happened in Illinois. I wonder if it's happened in Indiana, Hawaii, California, Delaware, Connecticut, Florida. Has it happened in any of these other states? I'm sure it has. We just haven't heard about it. So if any of you know of anybody or any state that has these red flag laws, if you know anybody that has had this has affected them, let us know. Colorado, Maryland, Massachusetts, Oregon, Vermont, DC. How many kids uh I think it was like 1.5 million families here in Michigan have young kids in it that these red flag laws could possibly uh throw into a whole world of shit. But I can guarantee you that these parents of these children who got their rights taken away did not see this coming, that they were caught off guard. And I bet you that these accusations or threats were just simply talk. Even if it even happened, you know, what happened to sitting down and talking to the parents or the kid to find out the whole story instead of just going in and stripping away people's Second Amendment right? See, that's where our Fourth Amendment is null and void. You know, depending on what was said, there's a suspension of your freedom of speech, your First Amendment. And then, you know, it comes down to taking away your Second Amendment. And then you got to plead and beg and somehow prove that you're not a threat to yourself or your kids aren't a threat, and then you'll maybe get your shit back. Yeah, Texas repo, that's what we're talking about, man. Absolutely. Uh, Texas is lucky. I didn't see anything on Texas about having these red flag laws or extreme risk protection orders or emergency whatever order. I mean, they all have it worded a little bit differently, but it all boils down to being the same exact bullshit. Red flag laws. What am I incorrect about, Shane? There's Oh my fucking God. Really? There's no red flag laws? Shane Rogers? You better look it up, man. Wow. Yeah, there is such things as red flag laws. What they do take, man. Shane, they do take. They are taking. There's been over 400 cases here in Michigan, but the ones that have made the most noise and the most ruckus and got the most airtime on the news is the ones about the 3 children and the 4 police officers from Detroit. You are so mistaken there, Shane. Yeah, they do come in and take your shit without due process. You don't get to efface your accuser. All it takes is for somebody to make accusations about you, or for law enforcement to deem you a threat, or for somebody just not to like you and spread rumors and lies about you. And there you go. Boom, just like that, you're stripped of your right. Man, I don't even know what you're saying, but hey, Barry, how are you? Yeah, Texas Revo. Okay, Shane. Okay. All right. Now we're on the same page. We're on the same page now. These red flag laws are a real thing. Extreme risk protection orders, whatever you want to call this shit. It's still an infringement on the American people on their First, Second, and Fourth Amendment. Now I'm all for criminals being locked away. I'm all for all of that. But what I'm not in support of is people being wrongfully accused and having their Second Amendment stripped away from them. I'm not cool with not being able to face my accuser in court. Because if that's the case, then we're going to see a lot more of this. Maybe that's what happened to these police officers in Detroit, because a couple of them were charged, or I guess it was due to domestic violence. So is it just a scorned girlfriend who's pissed off because maybe they cheated on them, or they left them, or they whatever the case may be? Did these women just make this shit up to get even? It's very possible. Now, look, I'm not siding with that because I think domestic violent people who commit domestic violence against their partners, are worthless fucking pieces of shit. Any man that lays his hand on a woman is not a man. You're a cowardly piece of shit if you ever lay your hand on a woman. You're garbage. That's not what a man does. That's what a coward does. Shane, man, our Constitution don't mean shit anymore. What planet are you living on, man? What state are you from? Yeah, Barry, I mean, exactly. Pre-crime convictions. Exactly. What happened to a crime being a crime when there was an actual victim? What happened to that? Whatever your name is, you're stupid as shit too. Yeah, Musk is probably already the president for all we know, running the show. I don't even care about that shit right now. Um, I'm concerned with these red flag laws. I'm concerned with losing our Second Amendment because people don't care until it happens to them. Like I said, I bet you these parents who've had to go through this whole bullshit ordeal, losing their Second Amendment rights, having their house raided, or whatever the case may be, I bet they are thinking differently now about not supporting and fighting to get these red flag laws not passed here in the state of Michigan. I bet they're kicking themselves in the ass right now. We tried to fight them. We tried to stop them from being voted and get voted in. But there's only a handful of people in Michigan who seem to care about their Second Amendment rights. But I can tell you right now, these people who lost their Second Amendment right due to this bullshit are singing a different tune now. Yes, all unknown. Exactly. It's all. I mean, look how much of our Second Amendment, Shane, we lost since 1934. Tell me we haven't lost anything and we're not losing anything. Man, what state do you live in, man? Yeah, Barry. Absolutely, brother. Well, we've lost our right to Texas. Okay, well that might explain it. You have a little more relaxed laws in Texas when it comes to the Second Amendment. But here in Michigan, if you carry a pistol in your truck on your side without a CPL, without a permission slip, you will go to jail. Now, Michigan is an open carry state, but while it's in your vehicle, you have to have it locked away if you don't have a CPL. So right there's infringement number one. I mean, look how many times they tried to ban assault weapons or high capacity magazines. How come we don't have a suppressors? The Hearing Act. How come we got to pay and pay to have NRAF items. Georgia has an extreme risk protection order as well. So Georgia is part of these 21 states I'm talking about. Like I wish my brother KP Heathen was on here, who's from Louisiana, because Louisiana is on here as well. 21 states have these bullshit laws that are affecting good people, innocent people. Probably 99% of this shit that's happened to these people, they're probably all innocent. But for some reason, all of a sudden it's a big deal now because the Detroit Free Press made an article about 3 kids being targeted and how the parents lost their Second Amendment right. Now everybody's concerned. Everybody's talking about these fucking red flag laws. When I was talking about them before they were even passed here in Michigan, trying to stop them from getting passed here in Michigan. Everybody here in Michigan was too complacent. Everybody here in Michigan didn't want to stand up and fight. Everybody here in Michigan was like, oh, I ain't got nothing to worry about. Well, maybe you don't, but maybe like these poor parents, maybe their kids went in and did say some stupid shit. And look what happened. Robert, go fuck yourself. I'm not moving to Canada. I'll bitch and complain as much as I want. I'm a free American, as free as I'll ever be, because I've allowed myself to be as free as I can be. Canada sucks. I want nothing to do with Canada. You go move to Canada, or just get off my fucking live feed, dickhead. Exactly. There's no legal definition to the word assault weapon or assault rifle. Assault is an action, it's a verb. Damn. I just really wish more people truly cared about the Second Amendment, about their First Amendment. Pretty soon, we're not even going to be able to speak freely. No, I know there's limitations to freedom of speech, and I understand that. But come on, when you're talking about 6-year-old, 8-year-old kids, they're not even fully developed yet. Their comprehension is not the same as an adult. So to treat them as an adult, and then I don't like that. That don't sit well with me. Why could they just go and talk to the parents and see, what the story is, what's going on, what's the home life like? Is there any fucking firearms laying around for the kid to have access to? Do an investigation first before you just go strip people's rights away. But no due process for you. The Constitution of the United States means nothing to you right now. You're not worthy of it. I don't know what happened to those kids yet. I will do a lot more digging into this. But it's irritating that it took these kids having to go through this to get any kind of traction, any kind of news, any kind of people talking about it, giving a shit, maybe thinking twice about what is happening. But no, I mean that's what humanity's come down to is something big has to break before people give a shit. This all could have been avoided if these red flag laws wouldn't have got passed in Michigan and in 20 other states. But I would like to know if I'm going to do some research and digging and see if any of these cases like this, what's happened in Michigan, has happened in any of these other 20 states. Because I bet you it has. I wonder how many of these orders that have over the 400, it's a little over 400, have been executed here in Michigan. I wonder out of the 400, How many of them actually stop the actual real crime? It seems like if they actually would have stopped the real crime, they'd be blasting that shit all over the news for us all to see how good these laws are. But no, everything's swept under the rug. The only reason this has come to light about these three kids here in Michigan is because the Detroit Free Press filed a Freedom of Information Act. That's the only reason this has been brought to attention and has this much light on it right now. And I knew this was all coming. I knew this was going to happen. Like I said, I tried to warn people for years. But nobody cared then. Nobody probably cares now because they're like, well, oh well, that happened up north. That them kids must have deserved it. They must be worthless parents. They must just leave their guns laying around for all to have access to. I mean, that's the mentality of a lot of people, and it's sickening. Any true person that understands guns and respects firearms, supports their Second Amendment, is not going to leave loaded firearms around for kids. Hell, I live alone, and I don't even keep my guns out. So, I mean, it is all about being a responsible gun owner. But you know what? I can tell you when I have my grandkids over, I make sure my safe is locked up, even though I know my grandchildren would never touch my shit because they've been educated. They know that it's not a toy. They know it's something not to touch or play with. See, it does come down to parenting on that. If you are a responsible gun owner, teach your kids responsibility. And I'm not saying that these parents who have had to go through this whole bullshit ordeal, losing their Second Amendment right, that they're not good parents because they probably are. This is all probably just a bunch of shit. You know, kids being kids, kids talking talk, you know, trying to talk tough, impress somebody, looking to fit in, be cool. 6 and 8-year-old kids don't comprehend what you and me comprehend or how you and me comprehend things. They don't understand the world like we do. I mean, shit, most grown adults don't even understand. So how can you expect an 8-year-old or a 6-year-old to understand? Definitely freedom isn't free. What are we talking about? We are talking about red flag laws, extreme risk protection orders, and how 3 kids here in Michigan have been, I guess, charged with it, where their parents lost their Second Amendment rights, where every gun in the household was taken. Now, this could happen, you know, if you just live with a family member and you know, something happens to them, they get called in and they're just living with you for whatever reason. Your Second Amendment's gone. Apparently, the cause was they were making threats at school. Yeah, exactly. But criminals are free to do what they want to do. Yeah, probably a lot of it has to do with Democratic governors. I'll look at these states, these 21 states, and see who's all governor. But if you live in Colorado, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, New Jersey, Nevada, New York, Oregon, Vermont, Washington, D.C., you have extreme risk protection orders. Okay, New Mexico, Virginia has emergency sensible risk order. Firearm restriction order, Illinois, Indiana, gun violent order, Hawaii and California, lethal weapon protection order is in Delaware. It's all the same shit no matter how they word it. Yeah, Barry, exactly, yo. It's kind of sad, people, that now I'm all for, you know, stupid assholes who pose a risk to society, yeah, they need to be held accountable. They need to be taken off the streets. But what I don't support is innocent people being run through the grinder for political reasons or whatever reason it may be, just to make the American people more afraid to own firearms, to make the American people give up on their Second Amendment, to complicate things to the point where people just give up. I guess it's all about who can last the longest. It's just really sad to think that we're living in a time where 6-year-old and 8-year-old kids uh, can't even talk, can't even be kids, because I'm pretty much certain that these kids had no ill intentions. They had no plans of carrying out nothing. They were simply talking some dumb shit. Now, are the rest of us going to get in trouble for talking dumb shit? Probably. So, I mean, right there, do you really have your First Amendment? Like I said, I understand that there is a fine line between your freedom of speech and what you should and shouldn't say, but that's a very fine line. And these red flag laws and all this shit, this all stems from what took place in Australia. They've looked at Australia and said, oh, Australia banned all these guns and crime rates have dropped. Bullshit. Robert, I don't know. I'm just assuming that a 6-year-old doesn't have the capacity, dickhead. I mean, use some fucking critical thinking. Do you think a 6-year-old is actually capable of doing that? Because I don't. I don't. Australia does not have all their guns. They don't. Oh my God. You're done, dude. You're done. Wow. I'm sorry, people, but I'm done with these morons. I cannot deal with stupidity tonight. Cannot do it. So I only want educated, open minded people who are actually concerned. Because you all should be concerned. If you're a Second Amendment supporter, if you like your Second Amendment, hell, even if you just own guns, you should be concerned. Because if you piss off the wrong person or you say the wrong thing and somebody takes it out of context, or the law enforcement or whoever doesn't like you, man, all they got to do is make a phone call. All the judge has to do is sign this order, and you are stripped of your 2A with no due process. Zero. You don't get to face your accuser. You don't get to know who turned you in. You don't get to know any of that. All you get to know is that, oh, hey, they're here taking my shit away. I don't know if I'm getting it back. But to think that this is not going to happen to more and more and more good people, I don't believe that, because I think this is only affecting probably only 90% of good people and maybe 10% bad people. Maybe. But I seen a comment on here: a criminal's going to be a criminal. A criminal's going to do whatever a criminal has to do to remain a criminal. That's why they're fucking called criminals, because they don't care. They'll do whatever it takes. Yeah, back to blue until it happens to you. I back to brown. I believe in the county sheriff is the only law enforcement we truly need. We don't need all this rest of this. That's why I'm so happy I have a constitutional sheriff who actually does support the Second Amendment, who said from day one that if these red flag laws ever did get passed here in Michigan, he would not enforce them. And I know he's a man of his word, but it's not going to stop the rest of them. Your sheriff's a bootlegger or a bootlicker. That sucks. Sorry about that, Barry. Yeah, I only have my sheriff for 4 more years, and he's retiring. So, yeah, that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck real bad. But I want you guys to all seriously think about it, especially you if you have children, if you have young kids, even teenagers. You better sit down and talk to them about the consequences that they could face by simply running their mouth. You know, anybody and everybody who, when they get mad, says shit that they don't mean. I mean, come on, tell me that everybody's innocent. Nobody on here has never said anything that in a heated moment that they regretted. I'll call everybody a liar because everybody, when they get mad or aggravated or in the heat of a moment, says shit that they don't truly mean. It happens. It's human nature. Let alone 6 and 8 year old kids who haven't even, they have no idea what they're saying or doing. Yeah, man, bury me too, brother. Man, I talked so much shit back in the day. I mean, hell, I still do. Oh, looks like we got another asshole that wants a timeout. Yeah, Robert, I say what's on my mind, and I have no problem with saying what's on my mind because I don't care about people's opinion about me. I don't care how people view me. I don't care how people feel about me. I can give two shits because I know who I am as a person and what I stand for. I know I have convictions, I have integrity, and I have honor. That's more than most people can say. I mean, pretty much, Scully. I mean, apparently, yeah, they're for people who are afraid of guns. This country was founded and built off our Second Amendment. But yeah, here we are, 2025, kids as young as 6, being, I guess, being charged with these red flag laws. But I mean, I guess that's just the day and age we're living in. But I can tell you, people, if we don't appeal these laws, and that goes for all 21 states. So if you, like I said, if you live in any of these other states, you need to get active. You need to try to get these laws appealed. Now, according to 2A another guy here on YouTube who's the only other gun channel I stayed subscribed to, Second Amendment channel. I'm sure he's on there talking about it live right now as I'm doing my live. But apparently there's a bunch of representatives and some, I think it was the Speaker of the House, who wants to hold a humongous 2A rally to try to get this red flag laws appealed here in Michigan. Now, I will put this rally together. I will help sponsor one. I will, whatever I need to do to help. I'll do all the heavy lifting again if I have to. I'll put the whole thing together and just hopefully people will show up. But there's talks of that here in Michigan, people, so stay tuned. If you're from Michigan, please stay tuned because There's a lot of representatives, good representatives here in Michigan, who are opposed to these red flag laws, who are fighting on our side to appeal these red flag laws. But they need our help. I mean, they can only do so much too. They need our help. Now, I will be in touch with my representative probably tomorrow. Now, I have a very cool rep. She is so pro 2A. She's not a wishy-washy person. What she says, she means. And I have respect for her. I know some of these other representatives, I believe, who 2A EDU is talking about, who wants to host this or put this big rally together, or wants someone to put this rally together. I'm not fully sure of what they're wanting right now, because I didn't really get a chance to talk to 2A EDU in person or on the phone yet. But when I do, I will let you all know. But we need to appeal these laws, people. We need to appeal all of these. We need to fight against all these unconstitutional laws. So maybe this is a wake-up call to Michigan. Maybe this will wake up the Michigan people to the fact that these red flag laws are bullshit, that they do more harm than good. Because like I said, I can guarantee you these people that this has happened to probably didn't even care that these red flag laws got passed in the first place, or they didn't even know about it. But I bet you they're wishing they would have known now, or I bet you they're wishing they would have helped fight to stop these red flag laws from being passed in the first place now. See, everybody gets mad when it's too late. Everybody bitches about losing their rights when it's too late. You know, before you lose them, bitch about them and fight for them before you lose them. I mean, it's really not that complicated. If you stand up and fight for your rights and lose them, hey, at least you can say, hey, man, I tried. I stood up. I was there. The Michigan people of Michigan need to wake the hell up. I mean, that goes for, I don't care what political aisle you stand on. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what color your skin is. None of that shit matters, because none of us are immune to this. That's why I don't understand why, heavy duty country or whatever was like, oh my God, if it can happen to the police, it can happen to anybody. What makes the police any fucking better than a normal citizen? Nothing. Absolutely nothing, in my opinion. But for some reason, that's a big deal that it's happened to police officers. It's more of a big deal to him than it is to what happened to these kids. To me, what's happened to these kids and their parents is far worse than what has happened to the police officers. Far worse. These police officers are grown adults who actually should know better. And if they are, like I said, domestic violent abusers, then yeah, they should be stripped away from everything, because any man that touches a woman is a piece of shit. A worthless piece of shit. Yeah, Barry, absolutely. Only when they're affected doesn't matter. That's the problem right now that we're facing in this country. That's why we're losing everything in this country. It's because only a handful of people care about shit. And then the other few handful of people care only when it affects them or someone they know. Instead of us all being able to come together and oppose these unconstitutional laws, no matter if it's against the First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Third Amendment, it doesn't matter. We all need to start to come together and fight against all this tyranny, all these restrictions, all these permits. I mean, what has happened to the American people's backbone? You know, I mean, is it because people are afraid, or is it because people simply don't care? See, I think it's probably more that people just simply don't care because they got other shit to worry about. We all got other shit to worry about. But if you plan on leaving something, you plan on leaving a legacy behind, if you have children or grandchildren, you got to lay the pavers. You got to lay the footwork. You got to build that fucking foundation for them. Nobody else is going to do it for them. Nobody else is going to protect their rights. It's up to you. It's up to me. That's why I'm so passionate about standing up to corruption, standing up against injustice, period, of any kind. Because I know it's going to affect my kids and my grandkids. It's going to affect all of your kids and grandkids if you have them. So, you know, lead the way, lead the charge, lay the pavers down, blaze that path for them so they don't have to put in so much work. Because seriously, look at, let's say 10 years down the road, do you think our Second Amendment's going to be better off or worse? I'll wait a few minutes to see. I'll wait a few minutes. I want to see some of your comments. I got like 60 some people on here, looks like. Do you see our Second Amendment getting any better? Or are we just going to see more infringements? Worse. I agree. I agree. Yeah, most people don't even care how they act, let alone attention to their own children. It's sad, absolutely. More infringements, absolutely. That's all that's taking place, people. But I guess we're supposed to just be all cool with it because you know it's for our own good, our own safety. But I feel absolutely horrible for these kids what they've had to go through. I feel horrible for what their parents have had to go through. You guys should feel bad as well because what if it was you? Wouldn't you want some justice? Wouldn't you want to be able to know who your accuser was or what was truly said and why it went to this level, to this extreme where your house was raided or whatever? I wish common sense would always prevail, Jerry. I wish that was a true statement, man, but common sense is it's lacking anymore, to put it politely. At this point, it all comes down to control. Kids are getting robbed of everything. I agree. Children are being robbed of their childhood. The minority. I'm Jerry. I don't know what you're getting at. No, it's not really about politics. It's about infringements on our Second Amendment. That's what this stream's about. Everything's political anymore. You can't say shit about shit without it being political because politics is taking over. Yeah, I really do wish common sense would make a strong comeback. Free thinking, open mindedness. Don't be so close minded. What baffles me is when I try to talk to my friends that I personally know that, live around me, that, maybe I don't have contact with them as much as I used to, but I've known these people for like 20, 30 years. And when I try to bring this shit up to them, you know what they tell me? Oh, I don't got time to hear that. I got too much to worry about. Well, you know what? You're going to wish you would have heeded my words if some of this shit happens to you. Because these are all big 2A supporters, love their 2A's, got a bunch of guns, love to shoot, want to teach their kids. But they don't got time to educate themselves. They don't have time to concern themselves with these laws that are being passed and being shoved down our throats. They don't have time. That makes me lose respect for people. People that I used to respect a lot. And that's saddening. But it's the truth. That's a real thing. Because if we all don't get on board and if we all don't start doing our part, we can just say bye-bye to more and more of the Constitution. Not that the Constitution even means anything anymore because it doesn't even hold up in court. You cannot use the Constitution of the United States as an argument in the court. Just like you can't use your God-given rights and your God-inalienable rights in court, because unless you can prove that God is real or Jesus is real and bring them to court, it don't stand. So you can't even use that for your defense. I mean, there's videos out there, many videos out there of the police, of cops saying, oh, we're dealing with one of those constitutionalists. They're the dangerous people. It's out there. Look it up. There's plenty of it out there. When they're sworn to uphold the Constitution of the United States, but yet us constitutionalists, us people who care about the Constitution and our rights, we're the danger? When you're sworn to uphold the Constitution of the United States? Do you see the hypocrisy in that, people? Do you see the hypocrisy in that? That anybody that is elected official has sworn oath to protect and uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. But are they doing it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because if they were, all of us law-abiding citizens would not be facing all these bullshit laws. I mean, seriously, think about that, people. Yeah, they probably do. The biggest donor. Really, everything comes down to, I mean, money. But I don't even care about that. I'm concerned tonight about the Second Amendment and where it's heading, because everybody seems to think that Trump is somehow going to just snap his fingers and our 2A is going to be magically restored to all. That Pam Bondi is going to be the greatest attorney general we've ever had, and she's going to hold all these people accountable for all these crimes that's committed. And she's going to give us our Second Amendment rights back. They're going to do away with what Biden done over the last 4 years. It's a joke. It's a joke. But yeah, people, 21 states have these red flag laws. So that puts a whole lot of people at risk. A whole lot of people that are good American citizens, law-abiding citizens, who at the blink of an eye, or just because somebody don't like you, or you say something that is taken wrongly, you lose your Second Amendment rights until you are either deemed fit to have them back or you're deemed unfit to have them. So, I mean, that's really how what boils down to. I mean, that is truly the simplicity of it. What really irritates me about these red flag laws is how you don't get to face your accuser. How you don't even get your day in court. How anybody can just make up bullshit and they come strip you away from your Second Amendment rights. Or how now that they're using children to go after parents. Maybe this is political, maybe it's not. Who really knows at this point in time, people? Because everything is smoke and mirrors. It's a dog and pony show. It's, we're going to do this while we distract you with that. But back to the point. The point is that this wouldn't even have made any kind of news until the Detroit Free Press did a Freedom of Information Act and found out that 3 kids have been targeted. And I bet you there's more. I bet you if they do more digging, there's probably more. There's like 400 plus cases of these extreme risk order protections, red flag laws here in Michigan that have taken place over the last year. Because this just was implemented back in February of last year. Now, could this be weaponized even farther? Absolutely. There's no restrictions or no restraints on these laws. These laws are made up as they go. Who's to say what falls into that category to get your Second Amendment stripped away from you in the first place? Is it just for talking too loud? Voicing your grievances against your government? Voicing your grievance against the police? What is it? I mean, what's the criteria? What criteria do you have to meet to get one of these red flag laws implemented on you? All it takes is a scorned girlfriend, a scorned ex-wife, one of your so-called friends, school teachers, police, your fucking neighbor down the road, somebody you never met, somebody who just wants to destroy you. I mean, where's that line at, people? Where does it start and stop? I'm getting everything monitored now again. I'm in Michigan, man. But there's 21 other states. Salvador. I think that's how you say your name. It's hard for me to read out here. It's so fucking bright. Yeah, I mean, but criminals, Scully unknown, it should only apply to criminals. But we shouldn't even have them because criminals shouldn't even be doing it or have it. You know, I mean, if somebody's that dangerous to society, they should never be let out of prison. So that's my opinion on that. If you're too dangerous, once rehabilitated and you come out of prison or whatever, if you're that shitty of a person and you're that dangerous to society, then you should never be let out of prison. You should be left there to rot forever. But Skull, that's what these red flag laws do, brother. That's what they do. These are for everybody. Nobody is safe from them. That's why I'm trying to tell all of you, it doesn't matter what political aisle you sit on, whether you're Republican, Democrat, a freedom-loving American, white, black, brown. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nobody is immune to this. Nobody is safe from this. All these people who help promote and push these red flag laws, maybe it's happened to some of them. And maybe they're thinking, holy shit, I never thought this would happen to me because, I was on the side of this. Maybe they're changing their tune now. I'd like to know about that. I'm curious to know that if it's happened to anybody who supported these red flag laws in the first place. Because I bet you money, somewhere down the line, it has to affect somebody who has supported this shit. And then they're going to have a rude awakening, knowing that they voted for this, that they are okay with this. Yeah, Salvador, that's pretty much what it is, man. No, you do not get due process, man. That's the thing, brother. Salvador, there's no due process. Your Fourth Amendment is done away with. You don't get to face your accuser. You don't get a court date. You just get your Second Amendment removed, and then some way or another, you are found either fit or unfit to possess them. So it's a tragedy, people. It's pure infringement on one of our most important rights. Not a privilege, it's a right. I mean, we already have to jump through enough loopholes. We already have to go through background checks and fingerprinting. I mean, what's next? Are they going to want DNA? I mean, the more we give and allow, the more they take. Because the end game, people, is to make us a gun-free country, just like Australia, just like all these other countries who've banned firearms, or make it so damn hard that you don't even want to mess with it. Yeah, Brad, I agree with you. Michigan sucks, man. I need to get out of here as well. But running away is going to do no good. Leaving your state of Michigan is going to do you no good. Because all it takes is a governor and an AG or whoever in a state to say, hey, let's pass these red flag laws. Let's get these passed. So nobody's safe. No state is safe. Right now, there's only 21 states with these laws, but I bet you that builds up. We haven't heard Trump say a damn thing about these red flag laws. I'd like to know his opinion on them. What's Trump, our savior? What's he have to say about our Second Amendment rights being infringed on by these unconstitutional red flag laws? What's his input? What do you think you think he cares? See, I just lost a bunch of people when I started talking shit about Trump. Oh, that savior mentality, people. Like I said, you better be your own savior. You better be your own hero because if you're counting on somebody else to do it for you, you're going to be sadly disappointed. So glad I don't have that problem. So glad I don't have that problem. Because if I did, I'd feel less of a man. Yeah, they do, brother. Scully, they get, and I'm not even bashing on Trump yet. I wasn't even bashing. I'm just wanting to know what he thinks or would think, or why he hasn't said anything about these red flag laws. He seems to run his mouth off about everything else. I mean, give me a break, people. I don't care if you're the biggest Trump supporter in this country. He doesn't know your name. He could care less about you. To think otherwise is fucking asinine. Oh, you got to make a little light of this situation, man. I'm trying not to get too carried away. I'm trying to keep my cool. But just knowing that these parents, and I'm going to find out, I'd like to find out who these parents are and maybe even reach out to them and get their side of the story on what happened. Because I'd like to know the truth. You know, maybe maybe their story will break. Maybe the Detroit Press will contact these parents and get their side of the story, and maybe more information will be released to us. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But who knows? But if you live in any of these states that I mentioned, and if you are unsure if your state has red flag laws, look it up. I mean, might not be called red flag laws. It might be called something like lethal violent protection order. That's in Delaware. Firearm restriction order is in Illinois and Indiana. Gun violent control is in Cali and in Hawaii. Risk protection order is in Florida and Connecticut. Access to restricted firearms is in Maine. And like here in Michigan, we have what is called extreme risk protection order, which Colorado, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington, D.C. all have too. So if you live in one of these states that has red flag laws, it could just be a matter of time before you say the wrong thing, or you do the wrong thing, or you post the wrong thing, and you are stripped of your Second Amendment right. Or your kids go to school and, just being cool, spouting off a bunch of shit. And then, you lose your Second Amendment right as a parent. Now, I could see these taking these threats, if they even were threats, a little more credible and a little more serious if we were talking about teenagers, if we were talking about kids between maybe 14 to 17, then maybe, I'm not even so sure then, but maybe then I could understand it a little bit more. But I still think you should go talk to the parents first before stripping away their Second Amendment rights. But a 6 and an 8-year-old, you're going to go there and destroy that family. You're going to, for talk, for accusations, for no crime ever being committed. You're going to prosecute people. You're going to strip away their Second Amendment right for what? For hearsay. And then you have to turn around and prove your innocence, prove that you're not a threat, and then they'll decide whether you are deemed fit to have your firearms returned or have them permanently and indefinitely taken away from you. I mean, that's as simple as I can put it for you people. It's really that simple. Anybody can make false accusations about anybody. And we know that shit happens. That people make up lies about people all the time. I know that more than most because people have slandered my name and lied about me. Fuck, the media's done it. News aides shit on me. So I know more than most how your name can get ran through the mud. And what you say can be turned around and taken out of context and used against you. Or how what you say is only partially taken. Hell, just a couple years ago, fucking Fox News called me the leader of the Wolverine Watchmen. And no lawyer would take my case for that. And you can see my Michigan Liberty Militia patch right on my vest. But they aired a fucking shit piece, call me the leader of the Wolverine Watchmen here in Michigan. Now that's bullshit. It's accusations, people. That's all these red flag laws need, is an accusation. Somebody said this, and Well, shit, time to go get their Second Amendment. That's how easy it is right now to lose your Second Amendment. Your 2A is it's not untouchable, people. It's not a guarantee. I just wish more people cared. I wish the American people cared about how bad we are being shit on and how bad we are being treated, how unfairly we are represented, how unjust most of these laws are. I mean, our government, the government of the United States of America, has one job, and that is to protect the rights of the United States citizen, not to infringe on them, not to impose their will, not to strip us away from our rights, but the exact opposite, to protect our rights as American citizens. Do you guys think that they're doing a good job at protecting our rights as American citizens? I'll wait a minute. Do you guys think that we are being looked out for? That our Bill of Rights is a priority to them? What, nobody wants to answer? Thank you, Barry. I mean, there's 73 of you on here, man. You guys tell me what you're feeling. I mean, oh, Scully, that's a whole nother topic there, brother. I'll do a live on that tomorrow about what's taking place in Europe, what Trump said about Iran today. We're looking at a total fucking shit show coming down the pipeline, people. But that's not why I'm on here tonight. Why I'm on here tonight is to hopefully wake up some people to these red flag laws and how they are being implemented and weaponized against we the people. And now they're using kids to target parents. Uh, you know, and I don't even want to call people sheeple no more. Maybe some people are just uneducated or unaware, you know, because that is happens sometimes. There are some people that, you know, they don't watch the news or have social media or any of that shit. So maybe they truly don't know what's going on. And it is up to all of us to help those kind of people out, to wake them up, to educate them. I trust me, I know it's not easy to get through to some people. Some people are like brick walls. They're just a rock. You'd have better luck having a conversation with a rock. But that should stop you from trying. Because if you can wake one person up, change one person's life or mindset, then maybe that person can change a couple, and so forth and so forth. It's a snowball effect, people. Jerry, man, I wouldn't doubt it, man. I wouldn't doubt it. I'll be honest with you. So who follows you are being watched now. We're all being watched, brother. I mean, there's whoa, what the hell is that? We're all being watched. There is no there's no what's the word I'm looking for? Privacy. We have no privacy anymore. There's no privacy. We freely give out information. We freely profile ourselves. We freely give out information on all these social media platforms. I mean, that's why they gave it to us in the first place. Ken, I absolutely agree with you. We are giving our rights away every single day now. And we have been for many, many years. I don't want to blame anybody or place the blame on any generation or this, that, or the other. But damn it, you know what? Why didn't my dad or my grandparents, have a little more say in what was taking place? See, I had great grandparents. My father's an awesome man. My dad's a great guy. Love him to death. But you know, this was happening back then. Why didn't they take action? Why didn't they see the writing on the wall like I see that? Uh, Now I have to pick up the mess. See, I don't want my kids or my grandchildren to have to do what I've had to do to fight to protect our 2A. I want them to just be able to enjoy their freedoms, their Second Amendment. I want them to be able to just plink and target practice and hunt and have self defense, the ability to protect themselves against any threat. But that seems to be asking too much anymore. Absolutely, Skull and Don't. I'm speaking my mind, not breaking any laws, just like all of you. We are allowed to talk, and we even have the ability to talk tough if we want, because it's just talk. As long as there's no action, I mean, that's what I don't understand. So if I say I'm going to kick somebody's ass and I never do, was that a crime? Just because I said I was going to kick somebody's ass without actually doing it, or just by saying it, does that? I mean, that's the point where we're at, people. Yeah, Patrick, I agree, man. I agree. But it's sad that it took children. It's sad that it had to affect three kids, three families, in order to get any of these red flag laws, extreme risk protection orders here in Michigan in the spotlight. It's sad that it took that. It's sad that four police officers from Detroit lost their Second Amendment right, according to heavy duty, that the police should be immune to this. No, they shouldn't. Actually, they should be held to a higher standard than the rest of us. But parents, you better sit down and have a good talk with your children about the repercussions of talking tough or making idle threats, or even simply just fucking around with their friends, telling their friends, hey man, I'm going to kick your ass, because that could all be taken out of context and used against them and you, where you lose your Second Amendment rights. This is the slippery slope we are living on, or standing on, people. We are standing on a very, very slippery slope. Most people don't even realize it. Maybe this will wake people up. The more news that gets dropped out about this, I hope the Detroit Free Press comes out with more. I want to hear the family side of these stories. I want to know what this 6-year-old kid supposedly said or did that got him in trouble and got his family all wrapped up into this bullshit. I'd like to know that. Jerry, and all, and most social media. What do you mean by that, boss? Go back. Okay, hold on a second. About to come to a screaming halt. Okay, are you talking about all the shows, movies, news, etc., all psyops? Yeah, man, I agree that it's desensitizing, it's conditioning, it's programming, it's manipulation. Absolutely. Gary Gray, red flag laws. Yep, that's what we're talking about tonight, brother. Talking about how three kids here in Michigan, the youngest 6 years of age, has had this happen to them and their family. And the only reason this was ever brought to light was the Detroit Free Press did a Freedom of Information Act and exposed it. And then, it made its way to YouTube and, all these big 2A channels jumped on it like a bunch of dogs in heat. Even though when I tried to get them before any of these laws ever passed to help me put out a message to try to get people to rally here in Michigan to prevent these laws from even becoming law in the first place. But I was shunned. I was pushed to the sideline. But that's all right because I don't need any of their help. I have all of you guys. I'm counting on all of you for my views, for my likes, for my shares. My channel is not monetized, nor will it never be monetized. Because I don't do any of this for money. What I do, why I do it, is for my own conviction. Why I stand up and defend our Second Amendment is so I know my grandchildren will have the same privileges and the same rights that I do. I don't even want to say privilege. That's the wrong word. The same rights that I have. Now, I think all gun laws are unconstitutional. All of them. Hey, Jerry, man, thank you. This is the best show I've ever been a part of, and I've been among many. Man, I appreciate that, Jerry. That means a lot to me, man. That truly means a lot to me. Hold on. Wait a minute. Travis, is that your name, Travis? I wish black people were as equal as you folks. What the hell do you mean by that, man? No, uh, just so you know, man, I've marched with Black Lives Matters. I've stood with Black Lives Matters against police brutality here in the state of Michigan. It's out there if you don't believe me. Now, there is nothing special about me. I have no fucking white privilege. There's no fucking thing as white privilege. Not for us normal white folk, maybe for these elitist assholes. But I don't have anything called white privilege. So let's get that in the open right now. I don't think any white people has it better than any black people. So if you're trying to play that race card shit on here, man, you're on the wrong channel. Because I have stood with, like I said, BLM on several different occasions. I stand up for we the people of the United States of America. So don't bring that race baiting bullshit into here. Don't do it. No, absolutely not, Travis. Absolutely not. Um, I live in a small town in the middle of the woods. I don't have neighbors. Only time I don't see a lot of different people. But like I said, man, I have worked and marched with Black Lives Matters against police brutality. Now, I don't agree with 99% of the bullshit that they stand for or do. But when it comes to police brutality, yeah, I can get on board with that. I think we all could get on board with that. This whole race divide, this division amongst we the people here in America is done by design. It's done to keep the American people divided by political, by religion, and by color. That's how they conquer us, people. That's how they keep us in control. That's how they keep us all down on the ground. By race baiting, by religion, and social ethics. That's how they divide us. Divide and conquer us, then they can rule us. It's that easy, people. I mean, think about it. If you can divide us, you know, divide half of us, if you can divide the rest of us by political and the rest of us by religion, you got us all divided. Ain't nobody knows who to trust or whose side to be on. When there's only one side, the American people's side. We the people. What happened to we the people? Yeah, Jerry, this racism bullshit has got to stop. I agree, man. I agree. I think every race should be proud of who they are and how they were born. I think everybody should be proud of that. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your heritage. There's nothing wrong of being proud of who you are. I mean, if people got a problem with that, then you're the fucking problem. But we got to start coming together, people. We got to put our petty ass differences aside. We got to stop letting them tell us that we hate each other because of our skin color. I'm going to get off topic for a second here, people, but because I've seen this happen. I've seen it happen when we were in Kentwood holding a rally. Word got out. A bunch of white supremacists were in Kentwood rallying. Well, about a half hour later, 45 minutes later, about 15, 20 black males show up strapped and wanted to have open dialogue with us. The police, the Kentwood police, gave me a stand down order. Told me, do not approach them. Do not go there and have a conversation with them. Guess what? I told the police to fuck off and I went and had a conversation with them. And once they knew and realized that we were there simply to provide security, that we weren't a bunch of racist white people, shit, we got along fine. Because they supported their Second Amendment as much as I supported mine. And once they realized that I support everybody's right to their Second Amendment, whether you're white, black, whoever, then everybody's opinion changes about me when they get to know me. You know, I may look a certain way, but that tells you don't ever judge a book by its cover. That saying is so true. I'm not even going to say that, boss. Oh, shit. But back on topic, people, our Second Amendment is not safe. It's not going to be safe until we, the people, can somehow have one message with one voice that we are sick and tired of these infringements, that we are sick and tired of looking over our shoulder, that we are sick and tired of jumping through these hoops. We are sick and tired of paying for our privileges. We are sick and tired of extortion fees. We need a real president who cares about our Second Amendment. We need real attorney generals on federal and state levels who care about the Second Amendment. We need governors that care about our Second Amendment. Because until that happens, our Second Amendment is always going to be at risk. It's always going to be just one step away from being taken away from you. One step away. Because it's happening here in Michigan, and I'm sure it's happening in these 20 other states. Just this time, Michigan has made the news once again. The mainstream media, you know, it's hit the mainstream media. It's hit national attention. But it took kids to do it. And that is sad. When there were so many people screaming at the top of their lungs that this shit was going to happen. That it was going to be weaponized against we the people. But nobody cared before. And all of a sudden, people care now. Sometimes when you care a little bit too late, it's just too late. That's why you should give a shit about your Second Amendment and everybody else's Second Amendment, because what happens to one will happen to the rest of us eventually. So, yeah, Jerry. I mean, it's really sad that these parents of these kids are being run through the ringer, being run through this. Um, don't know what's going on. Don't know if they're going to be charged. Who knows? I mean, are these parents going to be charged with a crime now? Is that 6-year-old going to be charged with a crime? That 8-year-old going to be charged with a crime? I mean, uh, who knows? But yeah, welcome to 2025, people. Welcome to 2025. But if we don't get our act together as American citizens, and if we don't start helping each other, looking out for each other, then we might as well say goodbye to everything. Because ain't that really the principle of a great nation, a great country, is looking out for each other, caring about people you don't even know? I mean, ain't that what this country should have or was built upon? I mean, that's how I view life. I'd like to help everybody I could. If you're a good person, I'd like to help you. Now, I will definitely not go out of my way to help a shitty person, but I'm not going to try to destroy them either. I'll just let them live their miserable life themselves. But we need to look out for each other, especially us 2A supporters, especially us people who love our guns, who love the ability to own them, whether it's for collecting, hunting, shooting, plinking, self-defense, it doesn't matter. But the Second Amendment people, we're divided too. All these, people who only care about the Second Amendment for hunting, they could give a shit less that they want to ban my AR-15 because they probably don't have one. Or, I mean, I've seen it time and time again with that. Where are all the hunters at when we hold these rallies? I mean, I bet you more people would be pissed off if they outlawed hunting here in the state of Michigan. I bet that would raise some eyebrows. I bet people would be, damn it, all up in arms then, all pissed off. But take away their 2A and they could care less. But take away their hunting, take away their entertainment, and yeah, then they're going to get mad. But I guess that's just where we're at, people. That's where we're at in 2025. But we can change this. We can turn this all around, people. We really can. I believe that. That if enough of us show support and stand up for one another, where our message is not just pushed to the side, that our message is heard and picked up, that we the people can gain some of our rights back. But it's going to take more than a handful of us. It's going to take coordination throughout, all these states that have these red flag laws. Because we need to, each state needs to start appealing these red flag laws. You need to get on the phone with your representatives in these states and tell them that you want to do away with these red flag laws. And what can you do to help? Because that's what I will be doing. I have, I don't know, 3 or 4 representatives in my phone. I have 2A EDU to contact and get information on. Like I said before earlier in this video, apparently a bunch of them are wanting to put together or want me to put on a rally over this to try to appeal these red flag laws here in Michigan. But like I said, I'm willing to put on the event. I'm willing to help with the event. I'm willing to run security for the event. I'm willing to do whatever is needed to help this cause, to help our fight to restore our Second Amendment rights here in Michigan. Now, there's going to be people needed in Colorado, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, all these other states. There needs to be people organizing and getting these rallies going as well. Because what you don't do does matter. Think about it. What you don't do does matter. By sitting on the sidelines, doing nothing, I'm not saying that you're part of the problem, but you're not helping the problem. Especially when, there's been people like me out there for a decade now fighting for our 2A. Now, in the beginning, there was more and more people, and after 2020, it's kind of dwindled quite badly. I don't understand it. I don't understand why people don't care or think that rallying don't matter. Rallying would matter. Protesting would matter if the numbers were there, people. Yeah, when there's only a couple hundred of us at most at the Capitol in Lansing, yeah, we look like a joke because there's only a couple hundred of us. But just imagine if there was 20, 30,000 of us there that filled up the whole Capitol lawn. That would take notice. That would make national headlines. That would make the news all over the world. It takes being noticed to get shit changed, people. That's what it takes. It takes to be noticed, to stand up and be heard. That's what I've done from day one. Was I stood up and I knew I was going to be heard. Whether my message was received or not, I was still going to be heard and I was going to be seen. Now, the one good thing that we did stop here in Michigan was Sanctuary City in Lansing. That's the one thing that all of our rallying and protesting actually did some good. But what do I want to do? I want to wake the American people up. I want the American people to rally behind their right to the Second Amendment. I want people to stand up and fight for their Second Amendment. I want people to rally across the whole country, even in states that don't have these red flag laws yet. Because it could be only a matter of time before these other states that don't have them end up getting them. So Zach, what? No, I don't see your fucking message. And how? Oh, okay, so you're too busy working and paying bills. Like, nobody else has a job, nobody else works, nobody has bills. Now that's, man, that's an excuse. If it's important enough to you, you'd figure it out. If your Second Amendment meant that much to you, plan ahead. I know lots of guys who've had to take time off work, sacrifice time from their family, sacrifice their time in general, period, to stand up for the 2A. See, that's all an excuse. It's all an excuse. Whatever makes you feel better at night, I guess run with it. So, I mean, that seriously, people, what's more important? I guess you have to ask yourself that. Hell, I've even held rallies on the weekends where people didn't have to miss work or didn't have to miss out on anything. But guess what? They still didn't show up. Because now I'm interrupting their entertainment, their pleasure time, their fun time, their time to dick around and do whatever. You know, they're drinking or whatever the fuck people do. So yeah, that I have a problem with that. Because without sacrifice, there's no reward. You can't expect everybody to do everything for you. You've asked me that same stupid fucking question, Martin or Marvin or whatever. I've answered that. What do I want to do about it? I want to make the American people wake up, and I want them to rally behind getting these red flag laws appealed, to get them taken off the books. That's what I want to see done. Don't try to provoke me. The judges sign off, dickhead. They don't impose it, they sign off on it. Fucking, ugh. Yep, grow your own food and such. I'm putting in a massive garden this spring. I'm gonna put a big garden in. I'm gonna become way more self-sufficient this year because I see the writings on the wall. Now this Second Amendment thing's just got me heated up because I'm so passionate about my Second Amendment, because I know my Second Amendment makes me a citizen and not a subject. And then with the whole world going fucking batshit crazy, talks of war with China, with Iran, with the Middle East, with everything going on in today's world. Yeah, I hold I hold and trust my Second Amendment more than anything. And I'm going to hold on to my Second Amendment, and I'm going to try to preserve my Second Amendment for generations to come. But I can't do it alone, people. I've tried the last few years. There's only a very few of us who actually give a shit here in Michigan anymore, and that saddens me. It hurts me. Man, it's like a needle poke to the heart, knowing that I had so many people that I believed in here in Michigan, that I thought were real patriots, who I thought were real warriors, to only tuck tail and run when the time gets fucking a little tough and scary. It's disheartening. It's very disheartening, people, knowing that so very few of us, one, understand the Second Amendment, two, will fight for it. Yeah, buddy, I feel naked without a gun as well. Absolutely. I don't go anywhere without one. In this day and age, you have no idea what's lurking around the corner, who has bad intentions for you. I mean, there's a lot of crazy shit happening. But I am concerned with maybe some foreign adversary, you know, maybe invading the United States. Who knows? Everybody's going to think, oh shit, that's impossible. There's no way the United States could ever be invaded. Well, I bet you guys didn't think 2,100 illegal migrants could come here, or illegals could come here and just blend right into society. But that's happened. That's happened. And we're only getting out thousands. We haven't even made a dent in all these fucking illegals that are here. Uncle Pierre, man, you're back on here. I'm just stating a simple fact here that what if? That's why we have a Second Amendment, is in case we are invaded. There's three acts to the militia cause: to impel invasion, to stop insurrection, and uphold the laws of the Union. That's why the militia is so important, because we are the last line of defense to the security of the free country that we live in. A lot of people will mock and make fun of people who claim to be militia, say we're just a bunch of dumb peckerheads or rednecks who live in the woods. That is the farthest from the truth. The only thing that is true about that is some of us do live in the woods. And we like our guns a little too much. But we are the real American people. We are the defenders of the Constitution of the United States. Everybody on here watching, if you're an American citizen between the ages of 17 and 45, you are militia. If you want to get technical, and you have a duty to defend your country. You have a duty to help your fellow citizen protect their rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And to people understand the history, that's why they don't teach this shit in school no more. They don't want kids to know the history or how this country was founded and why this country was founded in the first place. Why do you think they've done away with cursive? So they can't even read the documents. They can't even read the Constitution because they've done away with cursive. So if you don't know your rights, how are you supposed to protect your rights? Answer me that. If you are unaware of your rights or what your rights are, how are you supposed to fight for them or even know that they're being taken from you? That's why I think everybody should be educated on this shit. But I mean, that is definitely by design, people, why they've done away with cursive writing. Because I don't know if there's a printed copy of the Constitution of the United States or not. Maybe like the little pocket handbook. But yeah, it's sad that it took 3 kids to have these red flag laws implemented on them and their family, for these red flag laws to even be brought up in the mainstream media or on YouTube or any of these other platforms. It's sad that it's taken that. When I've tried to warn people for years, when I first heard about these red flag laws coming to Michigan, I tried to warn everybody. I tried to tell everybody. I tried to rally everybody. And I'm not taking the credit for all of it, because there was a lot of other people who were helping push the same message about these red flag laws. But then it just stopped. Then it got passed. And now we're seeing the direct outcome of what is taking place and what has happened here in Michigan. And Michigan's not the only state. There's 20 other states that have these same exact bullshit laws on the books that the people of those states need to appeal. Now, I am lucky that I have reps here in the state of Michigan who are fighting to appeal this. And when I get there and all the reps' names, I will lend out my support. Like I said, I've been in contact with several of my reps and other representatives in the state of Michigan for over a decade now. They've come and gone. Some have disappointed me. Some have stood by my side this entire time. But I'm going to do everything in my power to help the people of Michigan appeal these red flag laws that are here in the state of Michigan. Because the state of Michigan could be a great state if we had good leadership, if we had a good governor, a good AG, a good Secretary of State. It could be a great state. There's a lot of cool things in Michigan. But like I said, running away just because you don't like the laws that are in Michigan, uh, you're only going to find it in just about every other state you move to. So it's better to fix your own state. Stay and fight in your own state. See, a couple years ago, people were all telling me, "Oh, you need to move to Florida. You need to move to Florida. Florida's got relaxed gun laws. All this, that, and the other bullshit." And I'm like, why? Florida doesn't even have open carry laws. At least here in Michigan, I have open carry. I can open carry in public. That's more than you can do in Florida. So where's the freedom in Florida? There is none. So I'm more free in Michigan than I am in Florida. Because at least here in Michigan, I have open carry. For now, who's to say that they're not going to try to ban that next? You know, what happened to the whole constitutional nationwide carry that Mr. Trump is supposed to give us to do away with all of our permission slips? I thought he was going to give us our Second Amendment rights back. I don't know if did this freeze up people or what. I haven't seen comments in a minute, so am I still live? The number was much larger than 2,000. What are you talking about, Darren? Yeah, I'm not sure, people. Can somebody make a comment and just let me know I'm still live? It's showing I'm still live, but I'm not seeing any comments. So did everybody, you lose your comment bar or something? Because I know a few people that has happened to, where they've been commenting on my videos and ended up losing their whole bar to comment. Yeah, it looks like I must have lost my comment bar or something. Well, anyways, people, hit that thumbs up button. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Help get this message out there. But for real, people, if you have kids, you better start talking to them about these red flag laws and how they work and what they do and how they can affect you and yours. That's my best advice I can give you right now. That is by far what you all need to do. You need to sit down if you have younger kids or even teenagers. I mean, especially teenagers, because they're a little more hot-headed and temperamental than, a 6 and 8-year-old. But you better sit down and have a conversation with them about these red flag laws and how they work and what they're designed to do and what will happen if it comes to that you as a parent are gonna lose your Second Amendment right. You could face possible charges. Who really knows? But that's a hard conversation to have with your kids. But it's one that you all need to have. You need to warn them about these red flag laws, how they work, what they stand for, and what they do, and how it impacts people's lives. Because if you're not talking to your kids about this, and giving them a heads up and a warning, then I think you're failing them. I mean, if you're uneducated on these red flag laws, get educated. Uh, if you want to pick up the fight or join the fight, then join the fight. If you want to see these red flag laws become a thing of the past, then you're going to have to join people like me and others out there fighting to get these bills taken off the books. But it's going to take all of us, people. It's going to take a lot of us to overturn these bullshit unconstitutional laws. And that's the cold hard truth, people. That sucks. I lost everybody's comments. I can't see anybody commenting anymore. I don't know why, but I don't see no more comments. Maybe if I turn it around for a second, maybe it'll come back. Someone try to make a comment now, see if anything changed. Apparently not. But to recap, people, 3 kids here in Michigan, ages 6, 8, and I believe 10, had these red flag laws implemented on them and their family. Their family lost their Second Amendment rights for a period of time until they are deemed fit or unfit to possess their firearms. We don't know if these kids actually made threats or if it's just hearsay. We don't know none of that. But for it to take this, to bring it to this kind of attention, where it's getting this kind of focus and attention, um, it's sad. It's sad that kids had to be put through this. And for order for the light to be shined upon this, these bullshit laws that are infringing on people's 2A. These kids have been, it's just wrong. To me, it's wrong on so many levels. And it's really got me rubbed wrong that heavy duty country or whatever his name is thinks that the police should be fucking immune to these red flag laws. Like I said, I think they should be held to a higher standard than the rest of us. Because I don't understand how you swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States. You swear upon it, then turn around and shit on it by upholding these unconstitutional gun laws, enforcing them on people. I just hope in the end of this whole life, the scales of justice, I hope people have to pay what is due. I hope what is due to you comes, whether it's good or bad. That's why I try to be a good person. That's why I try to live by a code of honor. Because I believe in the afterlife and, when I'm judged on my final day, I want the scales to be in my favor, to know that I was a just man, a good man, not some shady ass coward doing the bidding of others, standing up against the monsters while standing alone, while having enough conviction and integrity to always stand by my word. And I know there's a lot more people out there like me. We're just spread apart, and that's a shame. But it could be a good thing because there's warriors needed in all states, especially these states that have these red flag laws. These states need warriors. They need warriors. They need people who care about the Second Amendment, not only about their Second Amendment, but about everybody's Second Amendment rights. And they're going to need help as well. But we all have a duty, people. We all have a job. Our Constitution, our Bill of Rights doesn't mean shit if we're not willing to defend it, if we're not willing to fight for it. you only keep what you're willing to fight for, people. You're only going to keep what you care about if you fight for it. That's just life. So what makes this any different? Nothing. Nothing makes it any different. In fact, you should want to fight harder. Because I don't know what it's going to take, but I'm just hope this video tonight maybe help some of you who didn't know anything about these red flag laws, maybe to dive into them and find out a little bit more about them. Or maybe just to know that you're not alone. That if you care about your Second Amendment and you want to fight for your Second Amendment, that there's people out there who support you. I'm one of them. I'll support you no matter what state you live in. If you're support your 2A and you want to fight to protect and preserve your 2A, I'll do whatever I can to help you. But here in Michigan, we're gonna get these red flag laws overturned, and we're gonna appeal it because there's a bunch of good representatives here in Michigan who are gonna pick up this fight, and I'm gonna stand behind them or stand in front of them or however this shit's got to be, and we're gonna see this through because I don't want to see any more kids' lives ruined or parents' lives ruined for simply talking. Because we don't know if these threats were credible. We don't know if they were even threats made. This could be all hearsay. Just something to think about, people. But I guess I'm pretty much done for the night. I appreciate you all being on here, sticking with me this long. But if you support your Second Amendment, you love your Second Amendment, just hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel because it helps me grow and break the YouTube's bullshit, because YouTube is not going to ever promote my videos. They're never going to push me out there because I'm not monetized. I'm not bending down and kissing their ass. So I'm always going to be in the bottom of the feed. So I'm counting on all of you, because this ain't just my channel. This ain't the crazy heathens channel. This is the American people's channel. This is the whoever's on here. I don't care where you're from. This is our channel. This is our open dialogue. This is where we can discuss our issues, our problems, our concerns together as adults, as open-minded, critical thinking people. Because that's what we need more of. We need more open dialogue, more critical thinking, more open-mindedness. And I guess that's what I'm trying to do. Hell, I don't even know if anybody's even hearing me anymore or not, so that's weird that I don't see any more comments. I don't know if YouTube has done this or if it's, I have bad reception. I'm not sure. But that is really strange, though, that I don't have any more comments. But if you support your Second Amendment, people, hit that like button. And if you support your Second Amendment and you love your Second Amendment, just hit that subscribe button, people. I'd appreciate it. I'm going to jump off here. But until next time, there's a lot more to talk about. I have a lot to talk about with what's taking place in Europe, in Ukraine, with Russia, with China, Iran. I have a lot to talk about. So I'll probably be back on here tomorrow. So I hope to see you guys all back on here. Hope you're all tuned back in, because I really do appreciate all of you, because it shows me that people still care. If there's people watching me, that means people care. That means that I am not uh, alone as much as I feel. And that's reassuring. Um, it's needed because, quite frankly, being this big of a 2A supporter, a 2A fighter like I am, it's rough because I don't feel like many people care about it as much as I do or cherish it like I do. But I'm hoping I'm wrong, and you guys on here have proven that I'm not the only one. So, like I said, it's re-encouraging. It's absolutely. But if you live in Colorado, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Vermont, or Washington, D.C., just know you have extreme risk protection orders, also known as red flag laws. If you live in New Mexico, you have red flag laws. If you live in Virginia, it's called the Emergency Sustainable uh, Restriction Order. Firearm Registration Order, Illinois, Indiana. Gun Prevention Violence Order, Cali and Hawaii. Lethal Weapon Protection Order, Delaware. Risk Protection Order, Florida, Connecticut. I mean, these are the states that this shit is implemented in, people. So there's 21 states that have red flag laws, or stripping people of their Second Amendment right. Who knows the exact extent of it? I do know that I believe there's been a little over 400 um, of these cases here in Michigan so far. And this has only been implemented since last February. So in a little over a year, there's been over 400 of these red flag laws implemented here in the state of Michigan. And it took these three kids and their family being ran through the ringer to bring this to any type of attention in the media. Even though I've been bitching about it before it was even law here in Michigan, trying to get the Michigan people to wake up to this bullshit. Like I said earlier in the video, I bet these people um, have a change of heart and a change of tune now. I mean, whether they supported it or not, if they supported it, they're definitely thinking, holy shit, what did I support? If they just didn't care and didn't think that it would ever affect them, and people out there fighting to change these, I bet they're going to wish they would have stood with us and never allowed these red flag laws to get passed here in the state of Michigan. All we can do now is look to the future, people, get behind our representatives and the people taking up the fight, and get these bills overturned. That's all we can do. But yeah, I appreciate you all watching and taking your time. I think I'm going to end this video and see what else is transpiring. But I do hope to see you guys all back on here tomorrow. Because like I said, I have lots more to talk about. But if you haven't subbed, please sub and hit that like button, people. Let's get this video a couple likes, and we'll see you on the next video. I really do wish I could read. I wish I had the comments, people, because I would stay on here and answer some of you guys' questions, but my comment bar froze up, or you guys all lost access to it, or something. Not sure what's happened, but it is what it is. The last comment I see is by Uncle Pierre for PM. Full-scale invasion is totally different, man, than what we are talking about here. That's the last comment, or the last comment I got. So I don't know if it's YouTube fucking with me, or if I have bad reception, or if I'm not even live anymore. I don't even know. But if you're still hearing me and seeing me, please just hit that like button. Let me know. I still see people on here, but I'm not sure if if you guys are all hearing me or not. Well, that's all I have for the night, people. So we'll see you guys all on the next one.